you don't have a car, you're not going to be able to go to work. There's no public transportation.
Really?
Yeah, the dog culture. Yeah, I would say that's the biggest culture shock that I have. Like Kenya is not very cheap. Nairobi is not
Yeah,
very
yeah,
cheap.
yeah.
United States, we are, a little different because you gotta have to be a little bit tougher because
Yeah.
people will try you, and
Mm-hmm.
you can't let people walk all over you.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah.
Hey everyone,
Mhm.
welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Stella MUNYIVA, and today I'm privileged to host one and only.
Rochelle, thank you for having
Welcome.
me. Yes, I'm really
Okay.
excited to be here.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah.
So, Rochelle,
Mhm.
today we're here to get to know
Mhm.
why you decided to move from US to Kenya. What really
Mhm.
inspired you?
Yes, I would say I was inspired to move to Nairobi because I wanted
Mm-hmm.
a fast paced city with a lot of hustle and bustle, with a lot of opportunities for collaboration to
Mm-hmm.
really motivate me, to focus on my goals and pursue my goals. I was actually living in Brazil before I moved to Nairobi,
Mm-hmm.
and I really loved the lifestyle in Brazil, but it's just all party, party, beaches, beaches, drinking, drinking. And I
Mm.
was like, let me move to a big city and really apply myself and focus on my goals. And like I said, I think Nairobi is very well rounded for creatives who want
Mm-hmm.
to pursue their dreams.
Why did you choose Nairobi and not another African country?
Hmm. Yes, I would say I was stuck between Johannesburg and
Mm-hmm.
Nairobi, but I think that I just genuinely liked my experiences. I thoroughly enjoyed South Africa. I've been to a
Mm-hmm.
few South African cities,
Mm-hmm.
but I just felt more connected to Kenya, I believe. I had went to Mombasa first, and then I
Mm.
took a bus to Nairobi. I've been to Kisumu, and
Wow.
yeah, I've really just fell in love with the people, the culture, and the
Mm-hmm.
country. I just felt a stronger connection here compared to South Africa.
Nice. Were
Yes.
you prepared for the culture differences
Hmm. I
in
would
Kenya?
say, yes, I think I prepared myself as much as I could. But some of the things you just have to learn on the ground, when you get here. So,
Oh.
yeah, like the dog culture, for example,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to expect to bringing my dog here.
Mm.
But I did find that some people like them, some people don't. I guess
Mm-hmm.
that's the same any other country. But
Mm-hmm.
that was one of the biggest culture shocks for me. But there's no way you can really prepare for that besides just coming here and giving it a try.
Mm,
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Mhm.
So far, how many
Mhm.
years have you stayed in Kenya since you
For
moved?
1 year
1 year.
only. Yes.
Nice. How has life been for you?
Yes, life has been great. I will say I came here solo, on my own. This is about the fifth country that I've moved to solo, the fifth country that I've lived in.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that everything has fallen into place beautifully with, ups and downs, lessons that you have to learn along the way.
Mm-hmm.
But where my life is now, it's
Mm-hmm.
definitely everything happened exactly as it was supposed to, no matter what other difficulties I may have had in the beginning.
Mm,
Yes.
nice. So, what do you really miss about USA?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I miss being connected to like my culture, being around my people.
Mm-hmm.
That is the only thing that I really miss is like my ethnicity, my people,
Mm.
which you can only really feel at home, around if you're in your home country around
Mm-hmm.
your people. So, other than that, really, I would say maybe access to buying things.
Oh.
Electronics are a lot cheaper. You can buy like anything you want. It's
Mm-hmm.
delivered to your door the same day or maybe the next day. The
Mm.
convenience culture is
Oh.
another thing that I think I miss. Yes.
Oh. What's like a typical day for you in Kenya?
So I wake up usually at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Like this morning, I woke up at 5 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I met my personal trainer at 7 a.m.
Mm.
So I have a personal trainer here. And then I'm actually learning guitar and French.
Oh.
So depending on the day, I'm
Mm-hmm.
learning guitar or French. And then I get my day started with editing, curating content,
Mm-hmm.
all the above. I'm also in school full time, online school. So I have to squeeze in,
Mm-hmm.
content creation for both of my brands. I have a digital marketing agency and a travel agency, and I'm in school full time. So I just, create time for that throughout the day.
Oh, so now that you moved from
Yes.
US to Kenya,
Mhm.
how is your career like?
Yes. So I have a US based business, two
Mm.
US based businesses,
Okay.
and I have a digital nomad residency. So I think that my career has reached the next level being
Mm-hmm.
here, because I've been able to focus on my businesses like full time. I think I have a lot more time to myself. And like
Mm-hmm.
I said, the hustle and bustle culture is motivating. You just feel the energy and it just motivates you. It makes you want to do more. I guess it makes you feel like you're not doing enough. So you
Oh,
want to hustle more. Yes, I
that's
think
nice.
Nairobi has that energy. And I am a creative.
Mm-hmm.
So I really love the creative industry here. I think
Mm-hmm.
that the podcast studios, recording studios, photography, videography,
Mm-hmm.
anything that you could ever need to pursue
Mm,
your creative dreams is here. So
nice.
I really love that as well.
What
Hmm.
do you love mostly about Kenya? To be
Hmm.
specific, Nairobi.
Yes, I would say that I genuinely love the people and how they have welcomed me with open arms, and
Mm.
yeah, how they made me feel at home, because that was the biggest deciding factor
Mm-hmm.
living here is like, how am I going to integrate into the society? How am I going to immerse myself into the culture? Those are questions that I ask whenever I move to a country.
Mm.
And when I asked those questions about Kenya, I felt confident moving here because I felt welcomed and accepted by the people. And
Nice.
yeah, it's a very warm, friendly energy, which I appreciate.
What's your take
Hmm.
on food, transport, and
Hmm.
infrastructure compared to Kenya and US?
I will say, when it comes to transportation, the
Mm-hmm.
United States, it does have a lot of improvements to make, especially regards to like public transportation, even
Mm-hmm.
the walkability. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of cities are not walkable. You can't just leave your house and walk to a grocery store in a lot of cities. You
Oh.
can't, yeah, leave your house or walk to, the nearest like
Mm-hmm.
store or whatever. So walkability is limited. Also, public transportation can be very limited unless you're
Mm-hmm.
living in a very big city like New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Like public transportation is limited, and you need a car to have a job. Like
Oh,
there are some cities, if you don't have a car, you're not going to be able to go to work. There's no public transportation.
really?
Yeah, so a lot of people say that like we are privileged because we have cars, and I can
Mm-hmm.
understand that perspective, but having a car is mandatory for a lot of people because you need to go to work, and if you can't go to work, you're not going to have a job. But I really enjoy Kenya because the matatus can take you to every corner of
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
country.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So public transportation is very accessible, it's very
Mm.
affordable. And even flying, like you can
Mm.
visit, different cities within the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Flying from one city to another is like
Yeah,
an
yeah.
hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the transportation system is a lot better here, especially because public transportation is very accessible.
Nice.
Nairobi is quite walkable,
Mm-hmm.
especially if you're in like CBD or
Mm-hmm.
Kileleshwa. So yeah, I think the transportation system, Kenya wins by far.
Oh, what of the
Yeah.
infrastructure?
Yeah, I think the internet is strong here.
Mm-hmm.
I've always had water. Electricity is like mostly consistent, like 98% of the time.
Oh,
I would say
okay.
95, 90% of the time,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have stable lights. So the
Mm-hmm.
infrastructure is great. And I think the apartments can be built very well. So the infrastructure is definitely stable in Nairobi.
What of the food?
Hmm. I enjoy Kenyan food. I would say
Which
it
is
is.
your favorite, by the way?
Or chapati mandazi, of
Uh-uh.
course. I like coconut
Uh-huh.
fish. Yeah, I like
Have you tried nyama choma so far?
I actually have not tried nyama choma in
Oh, you
Kenya, but I
should
did try it in
try.
Uganda.
Oh,
But I have to try it in Kenya. That could be our
yeah,
next
yeah, yeah.
video.
Try a
Yeah.
Kenyan nyama choma.
Yeah.
We
I
love it.
yes, but I like samochas.
Mm-hmm.
I like mandazi. Yeah. Coconut fish, even the wet fried fish. I went to Kisumu. The
Mm.
fish was delicious. So yeah, I would say those are my favorite types of foods, like wet fried chicken, biryani, palau.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So, which is the best place that you visited and you loved in Kenya?
Hmm. I would say Mombasa will always have a special place in my heart. That's the first
Why?
Kenyan city that I visited.
Oh.
And yeah, I just really loved going to the beaches and seeing like all black people, all,
Mm.
Kenyans on the beaches. I was near the beaches near Old Town,
Oh, oh, yeah,
not
yeah,
the
yeah.
touristy areas. I think Old
Mm-hmm.
Town is a little more local, but
Mm-hmm.
I really loved it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think Mombasa will always have a special place in my heart.
Mm.
I would say I really love Samburu, Kisumu, Nairobi. Of course, I enjoy living. Well, I live a little bit outside of Nairobi in
Mm.
Mao.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
so
Mm-hmm.
I guess Nairobi life was a bit too busy for me, but I really
Mm.
love Mao. And so yeah, I would
It's a
say
nice place too.
yes, yes. So I love Siokimau. I think it's up and coming too.
Now that you've moved,
hmm
what are some of the culture differences that you've noticed between USA
hmm
and Kenya?
I would say, that's a good question. Maybe like we talk loud,
Oh,
you know, we can be
ah,
loud.
you okay?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, and I know some people say it gives them a headache if they hear
Mm-hmm.
people talking too loud. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so I would say that's the main one that I've heard of. Like, sometimes people don't like loud noises or
Mm-hmm.
loud talking,
Mm-hmm.
so I try to be aware of that.
They say you are tough, you guys, something like that.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, we're definitely like United States is not easy, so you
It's not for
gotta,
the weak.
yeah, it's not for the weak at
Mm-hmm.
all. So you can't let people walk all over you. You have, which,
The way
yeah,
you're
so
saying it, you can't let people walk all over you.
yeah, yeah. So I
Yeah.
think in the United States we are, a little different because you kind of have to be a little bit tougher because
Yeah.
people will try you,
Mm-hmm.
and you can't let people walk all over you.
That's
So yeah,
crazy.
so yeah.
Oh, wow. So,
hmm
what are some of the culture shocks that you've
hmm
encountered
Like
compared
other,
to Kenya and USA?
yeah, I would say the dog culture, that
Mm.
was a big adjustment. Also like ordering products, like, importation
Mm.
was something that I was not prepared for, like the high import taxes.
Mhm.
It makes it hard to assess anything
Mm.
outside of Kenya.
Mm.
But other than that, it's great. Yeah, I would say the dog culture, yeah, I would say that's the biggest culture shock that I had. Yeah.
Oh.
Also, Kiloleshwa rental prices.
Mm.
That was a joke. Like, it was like, I am not staying here. Why would I live in Kiloleshwa
Uh-huh.
and pay all this money for a
Oh.
studio
Mm-hmm.
apartment when I pay less
It's okay
for,
now.
yeah, my great apartment in Siokimau,
Yeah.
and the value is also better.
Oh,
And
nice.
so when I was living in Kiloleshwa, I
Mm-hmm.
was shocked by the prices, and some people do try to exploit you a little bit. There was
Mm.
somebody that was asking me to pay $1,500 for a studio apartment in Kiloleshwa.
Mm.
And I was like,
Oh, that
that
was
doesn't
too much.
sound right. Yeah.
Mm.
So I think the housing, navigating housing, avoiding scams,
Mm-hmm.
like those type of things was like something that I had to adjust to.
Mm.
hmm
So, what advice would you give a person who wants to move from USA
hmm
to Kenya?
Yeah, I would say um, look at a travel relocation service. Like
Mm-hmm.
there are some travel relocation services, such as Traverse Culture is a great one.
Mm-hmm.
I always told her if I would have known her last year, it would have made my process 10 times more easy.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say don't be afraid to reach out for help. Reputable travel relocation services that are registered and accredited, of course. Um, and I would say keep an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely save a lot more money than you think you're going to need. Because
Mm-hmm.
when everybody, like Kenya is not very cheap, Nairobi is
Mm.
not
Yeah,
very
yeah,
cheap.
yeah, yeah.
When I
Tell them,
first
tell
moved
them.
to Nairobi,
Mm-hmm.
my money was disappearing. Like it was slipping between my fingers. And I was just like, help
Uh-huh.
me, please. Like, so save up more money than
Uh-huh.
you think you're even going to need. Probably
Yeah.
double,
Mm.
especially to set up an apartment. Most apartments want 2 months deposit, 1 month
Mm-hmm.
rent.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you're like well researched, well prepared. Don't rush it. Save up money, plan properly, do an investigative trip here. I
Mm-hmm.
would definitely recommend visiting first,
Yeah, yeah,
even
yeah.
if it's for a few days.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's what I would have to say. That's what I wish I would have done a bit differently.
Nice.
hmm
What would you say about your experiences in
hmm
Kenya?
Yeah, I would say that it has been an amazing experience. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I am honored that I have been, welcome into the country
Mm-hmm.
and that I have been able to build like a good life here. There's so much to see. There's so many cultures to immerse in.
Mm-hmm.
You can go, there's Kushite culture, Nilotic culture, Swahili.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so many different
Yeah, yeah.
cultures to immerse yourself in, which I really love. Like, you can travel throughout Kenya and never even leave
Yeah,
and still experience so much. So
exactly.
that's one thing that I really love.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What can they
Yes.
get you?
Yes. I basically all my platforms are for the culture, the number four, the
Mm-hmm.
culture on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and also Facebook. And my
Mm-hmm.
digital marketing agency is Pixel, and that's also the same on all platforms.
Guys, that was
Yes.
it about our
hmm
girl moving from USA to
Yes.
Kenya and the
Mhm.
experiences that she had. So if
Mhm.
you like this type of content,
Mhm.
make sure you subscribe, watch. See you on the next video. Bye.
That was great.
Mm.
All right, perfect.